Are you looking east of Austin for an investment opportunity that can create some cash flow? Taylor's rent to price ratio is getting some serious attention right now. This is from investors all over, and I get it. Our average prices are around $349,000 across our Taylor area. Samsung is driving rental demand and lot sizes that you just can't find closer to downtown Austin. But here's the thing that a lot of times investors are missing, and it has to do with timing. The numbers only work if you understand what actually eats into your return out here. I'm Paige Morris with eXp Realty. I help investors, relocators, and house hackers buy smart in Taylor and surrounding communities. So today, I'm breaking down the real data, cap rates, ADU potential, and the expenses that kill the deal before they even start. So let's dig in. All right, so first, let's pressure test the numbers that everyone throws out or is discussing, okay? So like I said before, average home price in Taylor sits around $349,000. 3-bed rentals are pulling approximately $1,875 per month. Run that through the 1% rule, and you're at roughly 0.5%. Not quite there. But here's the reality. The 1% rule is a relic in most Central Texas markets. What matters is whether your actual cash on cash return works after all of your expenses. Now, the 0.8% rule is more realistic in this area, and some properties hit that, especially if you're buying below the average value and you're adding value through rehabilitation. So let's look at what it takes to actually hit or to actually reach those cap rates. So typical single family cap rates in Taylor right now are running between 4.5% and 6% on stabilized properties. I've seen some hit higher on value add deals that need a little bit of work. But here's where investors can get burned. The cap rate assumes stabilized rent with no vacancy, no major repairs, and no reassessment shock, okay? You need to factor these things in. Property taxes that will reset after you purchase. Williamson County reassesses, and your bill could possibly increase on taxes. Insurance running about $2,800 or more for investor policies with a little higher deductible amounts. Your vacancy, I suggest you evaluate about 5 to 8% of a vacancy rate. Your maintenance reserves need to be at a minimum of 5%. Okay, do the math after those numbers. That's your real return. Anything else, that's just fantasy football, friends. So let's take a look at our ADU and our house hack potential, okay? So here's where Taylor gets interesting. One of the ways that Taylor gets interesting, especially for house hackers relocating from Austin. You're seeing lots at 0.28 acres or larger, right? You can come and get a 1/4 acre lot. Way more space than you get in Pflugerville or Round Rock at this price point. That opens up the door for ADUs, accessory dwelling units. It also opens up for detached workshops or garage conversions. A backyard rental unit can often offset your mortgage by $800 to $1,200 a month. That's real house hack math, friends. But this is very critical. You have to verify zoning, okay? Make sure you're checking setback requirements and utility access before you make an offer if your plan is to create a conversion or add an ADU. The city is still evolving in terms of these regulations, and some HOAs will shut you down completely. Now, one place I suggest to look at is in some of our older neighborhoods that are not as regulated because they don't have the HOAs. Potential there. I've walked clients through this before. We even schedule showings. If I know that this is their goal, we talk through this to make sure that we can achieve that. Now, the last thing, you don't want to buy something that you end up having to only use the single family home as your rental income if you're planning to create more than just one income potential there. So something to think about. Now, all right, let's take a look at what is driving demand here. Who's renting in Taylor? It's primarily families and professionals tied to Samsung and other companies that are attached to that in the broader industrial growth that's taking place along Highway 79 corridor. These tenants, they want stability. 12 to 24 month leases are standard. That means there's lower turnover and more predictable cash flow compared to the transient markets that are closer to downtown Austin. Now, for short-term rentals, you want to make sure you check city ordinances and HOA rules carefully. Most investors I work with are finding long-term rentals more consistent and less management intensive out here versus trying to go the short-term route. So, food for thought. Let's take a look at the rehabilitation ROI and what actually is driving the rent. So, if you're buying a value add property, something that needs a little bit of rehabilitation, focus your rehab dollars where they actually move the rent needle, okay? So like your top priorities should be the luxury vinyl plank flooring. It's durable, it's tenant proof, it looks clean, exterior paint, this helps. Curb appeal matters for attracting quality tenants. Make sure the lighting fixtures are updated. Inexpensive, but makes the space feel very modern and quickly. Kitchen and bath updates, even minor refreshes like some small fixtures or handles can make a big difference. Now, skip the over improvements. You're not flipping to an owner occupant situation. You are creating a rentable, durable asset, right? Rentable, durable. Make money quickly, keep money coming in. Okay. Finally, always buy with your exit in mind. This is something that some people do not think about. Now, when it comes to investing, that should be a no-brainer, but make sure you have an exit strategy in the event you're not finding your ROI where it needs to be. Properties with easy Highway 79 access, fiber internet availability, and proximity to retail, they're going to resell faster when it's time to move on to your next investment. Taylor isn't Austin, okay? Taylor is not Austin. Keep that in mind. Days on market can run longer here. Price it from the start and position for the next buyer, not just today's cash flow, okay? Keep that in mind as you're positioning yourself. Now, if you're serious about investing in Taylor, I built a deal calculator specifically for this market. Plug in your numbers and see if the property actually cash flows before you make an offer. The link is in the description. It's free. My gift to you. And if you want my top 3 rentable properties hitting the market or that have hit the market previously, text the word INVEST, INVEST, invest to 512-269-7907. I'll send them straight to your phone. Real properties, real data. I'm Paige Morris with eXp Realty, and I'll see you in the next one.